Hello, friends! Today, we are on a scouting mission. A secret scouting mission. I'm gonna meet Charles in a secret place. Secrets will be revealed. Secrets! Oh, hey, that's Fort Rock. That was a secret! Hello friends! Okay, you know what this video is about. The High Desert Overland Meetup 2023, presented by Charles from ADV with Roscoe, Austin from Radio Outdoors, Nathan from Rev-N3 Adventures, that's me, and of course Casey from Coyote Works. Although he's not in this video, he wasn't able to make the scouting trip. And credit where credit is due, Charles has been the main man driving this thing, so I direct all my thanks to him on this one. Anyway, if you're watching, I bet you have some questions. Well, that's good because I have a bunch of answers. But for now, let's have a look as I drive into camp. Keep in mind this was filmed in mid-March. The event is 2 months after that, which means it should be significantly warmer and with less snow on the ground.
All right, we got Nathan showed up. The gang's out here. All right, we're just chilling by the fire. Nathan's probably going to get set up. I don't know, you going to go out to the dunes for a little bit, or?
No, I've worked all day. I'm going to set up.
You worked all day.
Friends, this is the secret place. It's not really secret or mysterious. It's a place. Some private property we have been granted access to have a very large overlanding meetup with Coyote Works and ADV with Roscoe and a bunch of other people. And so this is my promo. You should come. All of you. Every single one. Because we got plenty of room. As you can see. I will give details in voiceover because we haven't really figured out the details, all of them yet. So there you go.
Okay, first thing we're going to want to explain is where we're going to meet, because that's important. At noon on May 19th, we're going to meet at Frederick Butte on Frederick Butte Road. Now, where is that? Well, let me show you. So here's Bend, right here, right? Bend, Oregon. Way out here is Burns, if you're familiar with Burns. Here's Riley. And here's Milliken and Hampton, which don't really exist anymore. And between them is Brothers, everybody's favorite place. So let's zoom in on Brothers here. Here is Brothers. There's the rocket launch site. They actually launch rockets there, which I think is cool. Anyway, let's put this into satellite mode. So here's Brothers. Everybody knows Brothers. There's the rest area. Probably want to stop there because it's the last toilet you're going to see for a little bit. You're also, if you're coming from Bend, you're going to want to get some gas there because there's no gas in Brothers. But anyway, if you go down this way, where is it? I got to zoom in a little bit more, I think. What is this? There it is, Frederick Butte Road. All right, so let's see. So that's the Frederick Butte Road is there. Brothers is there. So that's, well, can I use the measurement thing? Yeah, I can. Let's see. Measure distance. There's that. From Brothers. That is 5 miles, exactly. I think. No, 7.3 miles. That 5 miles. So it's about 7 miles out. Oops. No. Ah, what have I done? Clear that. Okay, so anyway, you're going down Frederick Butte Road. I've done this one before. We actually did that at the meetup. The Meet in the Desert 2022. But you'll see the road kind of turns here. And this right here is Frederick Butte. And what you'll want to do, I'm guessing, obviously what you could do is drive down the road until you see a bunch of trucks. That should be fine. Unless you're the first guy, you'll be covered. If you've seen my video from the Coyote Works meetup in 2019, when I drive into Brothers and there's lines of trucks on both sides of the road, you'll know you're in the right place. But I think if you get past this point and there's no trucks, you've gone too far and just stop right there. You can't miss Frederick Butte. It's gigantic, and you know the whole road has to turn to go around it. So head down this way till you get there. That will get you covered if you're going on the standard, showing up at noon. We're rolling out at 1 on May 19th. That's the way you want to do it. Now, if that's something you can do, I highly recommend it. If you can get to that Frederick Butte Road and down to Frederick Butte on May 19th, by noon, then that's what you should do. Casey will be there. He's going to lead everybody on a back road trip to the camp. It's a great way to start the weekend. It's the same way we did it the last trip back in 2019. I highly recommend it if it's your first time, especially because it's a really fun thing to do. Get a huge line of trucks. But what if your boss won't let you have the time off, or you just can't get there for other reasons, and you're not going to be able to make it on a Friday? 19th is a Friday, and if you're not able to make it there in time, what can you do? Well, I'm offering an alternative. It's not as fancy, but I will be in Christmas Valley at 7 p.m. on Friday. That's also the 19th. Christmas Valley, the way you usually get there is south of La Pine. You take 31 and you branch off at Fort Rock, which is one of my favorite places, and then you go down to Christmas Valley. You can't miss it once you get to the Fort Rock exit. And right in Christmas Valley, there is a runway. It's a airport. Let me switch this over to satellite again, and there is a parking lot. Where's the parking lot? Is that the parking lot? Yes. So don't park in the helicopter parking unless you have a helicopter. But this area right here, this is a nice big parking lot. It's you pull in here. I will be here and I will take you in the rest of the way. Side note, if you're here, there is a Chevron station right here. Pump your own gas. If you need to get gas, this would be a good place to do it. Just so you know what this looks like from the road, we'll drop the man here. Parking lot. It looks like a parking lot. And there might be a porta-john there in case that's important to you. But this is the place. Again, I don't recommend this. If you can find any way to go at the normal noon trip, do that. That's going to be the better way to go. But if you can't and you still want to show up, or if somehow you miss it, come here. I will be here at 7 p.m. on May 19th, which is Friday, so Friday evening. I may miss some of the potluck, but it's important to me that the people who don't have the ability to get the day off can at least try to make a scud run here and still get to take part in the weekend. So what are you going to do with this thing? Well, there are only two scheduled events, a potluck on Friday at 5 p.m. and the raffle on Saturday also at 5. You can buy raffle tickets at the event with cash and possibly Venmo. There will also be event t-shirts for sale and possibly event stickers. If you'd like to pre-order a t-shirt to make sure you get the color and size you want, you can contact Austin. I'll put his contact info down below. By the way, the merch will be at cost. We're not looking to make money off this, just break even. On that note, we are taking donations. Charles has secured the property, porta-johns, and a huge pile of wood for the main fire, and that's not cheap. So if you could donate and help reimburse him on that, would be helpful. His Venmo is High Desert Overland, all one word, or we'll have a donation bucket on site. Aside from that, there are a lot of neat things to do in the area. You can explore the Lost Forest or a crack in the ground. There's also a crashed jet fighter nearby. I'm sure you've seen that on other YouTube channels. We'll be quite near the Christmas Valley sand dunes if you want to go bomb around out there. Keep in mind, you would need to have an OHV permit, a flag, and a fire extinguisher. I might bring my dirt bike. Fort Rock and Hole in the Ground are also near, but you might want to hit those up on your way home. If you have your own fire pit, make sure to bring wood, as there will be none available on site to cut down, and the wood we're having brought in will be for the main community fire. Also, keep your poop tents at home, as we will use the porta-johns. We don't want to leave buried poop all over the place. That's not very nice. There are also not going to be any dumpsters, so you're going to want to pack out whatever you pack in. So let's go over some questions we've had. Is there cell service at the site? Yes, there's reasonable cell service and LTE, at least for Verizon. But if everyone's on there at the same time, it might overwhelm the whole thing. So maybe you're not going to be able to watch YouTube out there, but you should be able to send and receive calls without issue. What's the name of this thing? Officially, it's called the High Desert Overland, or HDO for short, but I'm going to call it the Heidi-Ho because I think that's fun. Are dogs welcome? Friendly leash dogs are welcome. They gotta be a leash though, and you have to clean up their poop and pack it out. Are kids welcome? Friendly unleashed kids are welcome as well. Keep in mind they may be around some rough around the edges folks, so if you don't want them to hear swearing and such, you might want to leave them at home. I'm saying this as a parent of two, so keep that in mind. What are we doing for radio? We're going to be on CB channel 15 and GMRS channel 15. That translates to 462.550. I'll have that information down below. Can we target shoot at this location? No shooting range at this site. It's way too flat, and we're going to be way too many people around, and it's a little bit too dangerous for that. Are adventure bikes welcome? Absolutely. Charles is an adventure rider, and he would love to talk shop with you guys. How do I plan for the weather? Christmas Valley is probably the closest weather station if you want to look it up online. I suggest packing for both cold and warm scenarios, though, as the temperature can fluctuate wildly out in the high desert. How much room will I have? We have a lot of space, something like 80 acres or so, I think, but we expect it is going to be close quarters compared to normal overlanding, so keep that in mind to be polite to your neighbors. Can I get the coordinates to the site and show up on my own? In order to cut down on people showing up at all hours, and also for some other reasons I won't go into, the decision has been made that the 2 caravans will be the only way to find out where the site is this year. Casey has done it this way in the past, and it makes sense for the enjoyment of those in attendance. What do I need to bring? At the most basic, a vehicle, a shelter, warm sleeping bag, then maybe a backup blanket as well, and something to separate you from the ground. Twice the amount of cold weather clothes as you think you need, a t-shirt for when it isn't cold, food for 3 days, a big jug of water, never can have enough water, and that's really it for the basics. Might be nice to have earplugs, butt wipes, and some chapstick. If you found something outside of that you need, you'll probably be able to ask your neighbors for some help. A lot of us tend to overpack. Oh hey, we went over the dunes after we packed up camp. The rest of the video will be over there. The mud was frozen, so it was pretty easy to get around until the temps came up. Anyway, back to the questions. What can I expect? Well, you can always watch the videos from my experience at the last Coyote Works expedition to get an idea. But generally, and this isn't set in stone, but you will roll up on a convoy, wander around, talk to people, and say hi. Might be a good time to air down. If you can drop 10 or 15 psi, that might make the ride more pleasant. Then everyone will start rolling out. I have no idea what route Casey will be taking us on, but I expect it'll be interesting. I also expect there will be a lot of dust, so be prepared for that. One thing to note, always keep the person behind you in your mirrors, and if they drop behind, you stop. And that way, everybody stays together. We had some problems with that last time. Not going to go into it any further. Once we get to the sites, the trucks will be all lined up, and Leah will have a table for people to sign in just so we know who came, where you're from, and if you want to share your media accounts. I'll have them in a future video. I know some people can be paranoid about giving personal info, but I assure you nothing is going to be sold off. I work in security though, and I get it. Just provide what you're comfortable with. Also, this will be a chance to make donations and pick up t-shirts. Casey will probably say hi to everyone individually as they roll past. That can be a bit of a lineup, and you will be directed to where you can get set up. Set up camp, then come on over to the main fire at 5 p.m. for the potluck. Make friends with the person sitting next to you, and then do regular camping stuff until you go to bed. Next morning, that's going to be Saturday, decide what you'd like to do with your day. I expect I'll go over to Crack in the Ground because I've never been there. Just make sure you get back by 5 p.m. and we'll gather for the raffle. Next day, Sunday morning, police your area, head on home, or go wherever you want. I'm not the boss of you. I would suggest you make time to meet and talk with your neighbors, make friends. I met a lot of great people at the last Coyote Works meetup, and they're my overland friends to this day. It's a great event, and it's a great time to become part of the community. I hope to see you all there. Feel free to drop questions in the comments. Subscribe if you have a mind to. Bye!